So, did you stick to your New Year's resolution? It's been about 7 weeks since January 1st, and who stuck to it? Who's come this far? What's happening, YouTube? So, today's video, I want to simply make a little update of the cut. A couple reasons for the video. One is to update the cut. Like I said, 7 weeks in. I'm gonna show you a physique update, a little bit of footage while I explain things. I'm gonna go over, just how it's been for me, how it's been getting shredded. Obviously, I'm not shredded yet, but how it's been the experience, my energy levels, my challenges that I've faced. I also want to mention, I'm gonna get into this a little bit later, about the topic for today's video. On top of this is gonna be dealing with sickness while cutting. It's a very important topic and you need to know, because especially when cutting, you might be slightly more vulnerable to sickness. And given that there was a time just recently that something was going around, if you get sick and you don't do things correctly and take the right measures to prevent continuous or prolonged sickness, then you could risk losing a lot. And I learned this from experience. Almost every single time I've cut, I've gotten sick, maybe 2 of the 3 times or 3 of the 4 times. And I suffered greatly in terms of muscle loss and just being able to get back to it. I was sick this last week, so in the 7th week I did get sick, and luckily I came out on top. So I'm gonna explain what I did, I'm gonna explain what you should do. Make sure that you're still moving forward always, right? So, that being said, let's get right into it. Actually, before I start, I wanna see who's been sticking to the cut so far with me on this journey. Comment below if you're still cutting and you're still trucking ahead, and I will give you a shout out in my next video. And I'm gonna hold you accountable. I want to do this with you. I want to help you as much as possible. And while you're at it, comment below a certain topic that you might find helpful in terms of helping you throughout your cut as well. Okay, and I'll be sure to answer it, make a video, or respond in the comments. Okay, thanks a lot for all your support. Let's dive into the video. So, quick update. I'll go ahead and put some footage of me posing on top right now. So this is what I'm looking like. It is the end of week 7. This is actually week 8. This video is being recorded on Monday, February 19th, which is actually a holiday. But, good time to record a video for the people, you know what I'm saying? Week 7 is over, and I'll give you some stats. I am down to 211 pounds today, and I was yesterday as well. So that would show a total of 9 pounds lost since 220, since the beginning of the cut. However, my weekly average was 213.2. I've lost about 7 pounds in 7 weeks, obviously a pound a week. The rate is okay, the rate's good. A pound a week is probably the most ideal rate to cut at, and I'll explain why. Because as I've been cutting, my strength has actually been either staying the same or increasing. On a relative scale, if your strength stays the same while cutting, meaning you're lifting the same weights for the same reps and the same sets, your relative strength is actually increasing, which is exactly what you want. Now, if you're getting stronger while you're cutting on an absolute scale, obviously your relative strength is going up as well, but you may be doing things so well that you might be building just the slightest bit of muscle. I'll make a video on how that's actually possible in the future. Okay, so comment below if you'd like to see that video. But basically, strength is going good for me. Remember, track your workouts so that your strength, you prioritize maintaining strength, because that's key to preserving as much muscle as possible. I've found that my energy level has been extremely high. Reason for this, I'm still consuming about 3,500 calories. I started at about 3,500 calories, no, 3,450 I believe it was. That's my baseline calories. Now that's down to 3,200. So I've cut down about 250 calories only. However, I've also increased cardio from 300 to 400 to 500 calories. So I'm between 400 and 500 calories. However, I'm only inputting 300 calories. That's why I'm eating about 3,500 calories. The deficit's a little bit greater. And I found it to be good. I did have a small sticking point. In weeks 5 to 6, I actually lost 0.1 pounds over both those weeks. Obviously, I realized, okay, I need to drop a couple things. I increased some cardio, I dropped a little calories, and one thing was I wasn't diligent in a few days, the prior weeks. That sets the average off, so keep that in mind. stay as diligent as possible to keep moving ahead as quickly as possible. Now that I've lost a pound down to 213, and going forward from here, if I stay at around the 211s all week long, that could be a total of 2 pounds lost approximately over this next week. So I'll go ahead and go into what I'm gonna be doing going forward. Like I said, the rate of weight loss has been good. I'm going to speed it up slightly for the next couple of weeks just to put me back on pace for more of a 1.5 pound per week drop, just because you don't want a caloric deficit to last too long. Ideally, you'd have a certain amount of time in a caloric deficit, and then from there you'd want to do kind of like a small reverse diet, you could say, for a week or two, and then restart again just to reset metabolism and keep moving down. However, simply my own patience is what I lack in this case, so I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to stay in a caloric deficit. I'm actually going to speed it up a little bit more. And if my performance starts to suffer, then I'm going to do a reset, which of course I'll keep you updated on. So I'll see how it works from there. So gonna increase a little bit more, looking at average at around 211 this week. And going forward, my cardio is gonna be staying at 400 to 500 for now. My calories are around 3,200. If I stay at the 211s for throughout the week, that means I'm at a baseline. I'm gonna have to increase cardio or decrease calories slightly. I'm talking by maybe 50 to 100 calories max, okay? So that's how I'm moving on the cut. Scale-wise, I'll go ahead and show you what the scale's reading. So when I first started, it was around 220, and I believe it was at like 17.6% or 17.8% or something. Now, as you see, it's down to somewhere between 16, low 16s. And, you know, that's obviously a good thing. That scale, as I mentioned in a previous video, which by the way, if you haven't watched, click here to go into more detail, but the scale isn't the most accurate when it comes to body fat. We're gonna see that at the end of the cut. So the scale you use for the number, if it's body fat percentages, don't be so caught up on it, all right? So if you're going strong and you're like me and you think, well, you've only lost 1% body fat all this time, well, motivation is gonna be low. Don't let that happen. Keep trucking along. If you're losing more than a pound a week, that's great. Keep it up as long as performance isn't suffering, as long as you're not hungry, as long as you don't feel tired, depressed, upset, kind of like you're a hair trigger, you know, you just kind of snap at everything, snap at everyone. I've been there. You don't want that to happen. If that's the case, that's your body telling you that you're in too much of a deficit and it's time to bring it up. Now, I want to talk about the main thing. I got sick last week. Was not happy about that. Basically, I went in to coach a class, I felt good, and boom! It was like somebody just socked me in the back. Ah! I just felt like I got hit by a brick wall. My voice was killing. Out of nowhere, just massive throat ache. I felt like I was gonna pass out, all this stuff. I finished coaching the classes. Luckily, I was able to get through that. And if you know me, been following me on my Instagram, which if you haven't, I'll go ahead and put it up again right here. I work a lot. Every opportunity I have, I'll work as opposed to do anything else because I appreciate and I enjoy the grind. But even I took the next day completely off, not only from coaching my classes, which I never do, but I took all the classes off and I did nothing when it came to my business, very little. Hardly any client work or anything. I treated it as much as I could. Oh, this is on Tuesday night. Wednesday was when it hit me. Wednesday I took off. It's Monday again, but I was feeling better by around Saturday. I was back in the gym. I took the gym off for a couple days. So let me explain what you should do if you get sick when cutting. I was able to recuperate quickly for these reasons. So one, make sure you do not go to the gym if you're sick on a cut. Do not go to the gym, even if it's just for cardio. I went for cardio the first day. Again, felt like a truck hit me. It did not do me any good at all. Stay away from the gym. Rest is king. Even if you feel like you need the money, I need the money. I need to work. It's what I love. I don't want to miss it. Even still, if you try to truck through, you will. But you're also gonna prolong the amount of time that you're sick for. Prolonging the amount of time that you're sick for while in a caloric deficit is seriously putting your body at risk for significant muscle and performance loss in the gym and just feeling absolutely terrible and prolonging recovery time. That brings me to the next point. If you're sick when cutting, I would actually recommend eating for a few days while sick in the slight caloric deficit, at least maintenance, if not, not deficit, a slight caloric surplus. Maintenance or slightly above. I gained a pound here or there over those days. The reason why is because when you're in a caloric deficit, why do I keep saying deficit? The reason why is if you're in a caloric surplus, your body is in a better environment. It has more energy that it can use towards actually helping you heal. If you're in a deficit, again, everything is lower. So I would increase the food. Also, hopefully, you can maintain your appetite, eat as much as you need to at least maintain your body weight. That's gonna help your body have a surplus of energy that it has no problem putting towards feeling better, getting rid of the sickness, and getting you back in the gym. Now, obviously, if you have a little head cold, you already know that don't be a pussy would be my number one and only one recommendation. But this is for more serious sicknesses. Like for myself, I had my lungs are still recovering because I do have asthma that gets activated when I get a sickness like this. My cardio's still a little on the lower end, but those are the kinds of sickness that you want to do these things for in order to recover as quickly as possible. So let me recap. You also want to take time off of work and anything else, any sort of stress at all, and just relax, stay at home, stay in bed, stay on the couch, whatever. Relax as much as you can. Trust me, it makes a big difference. Now, couple all of this with the last one, which is obvious. I'm not a doctor, it's not advice, but it's what I did, and that's taking certain measures. You got Advil, staying on point with things like Advil and all that is what I was doing to make me feel better, to suppress any fever. I also take oregano oil. I would drink oregano oil every single time with water. If you need puffers, be on point with the puffers for any sort of lung cardiovascular problem. I was chewing on those Cepicals, Halls things like crazy. Having teas every hour, ginger tea, green tea, and avoiding sweets, avoiding lactose, any sort of thick textures. If you do that, drinking lots of soup, having oatmeal, hot foods, if you do that stuff, drinking gargling salt water, if you do that stuff and you just keep hitting it day and night, days straight, rest up as much as possible. Caloric surplus, so you're eating plenty of these good foods, healthy foods. Of course, that's another one, healthy food, no junk, no sweets at all. And you are also taking a rest off of everything, gym and work. You will recover much quicker. And this is important because you have to get back in the gym as quickly as possible after you're healed in order to make sure that you're not in a deficit while not working out, which can easily lead to muscle loss. So those are my tips on what I did to recover very quickly and still stay on the ball, still stay to my goal. Being sick when you're on a cut, I freak out a little bit because I'm like, man, this is the worst time. Like, I can't lose everything I worked hard for. So things going around, this being the season, I hope that helps. Comment below if you have any other recommendations or tips for what you do when you're sick to recover as quickly as possible. And always keep a positive mentality. Same goes for just everything in life. Let's keep pushing through this cut. I'm proud of all of you out there that have been following me and doing the cut for yourself, taking my advice and running with it. Again, follow my Instagram, follow my Facebook. I'm on there pretty actively showing you day-to-day things. So that's it. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, comment, sub. If you haven't, appreciate all the support as always. More of a update video just to show you where I'm at. Next, it's gonna be your turn. So let's do this. Keep pushing through. We're almost there. We're all gonna be shredded together and everybody's gonna be there and they're gonna start their cuts and it's gonna be summer and they're gonna look at us and they're gonna be like, damn, I'm Myron, bro. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day.